Hey guys, Tarke here, and today I want to make a video a lot of you probably wasn't expecting. I'm going to make a video talking all about WoW and my frustrations with World of Warcraft. Now I feel like, Tarke, why the hell are you talking about WoW? Some of you may not be aware, but the main games that I've played have been Diablo 2, RuneScape, World of Warcraft, and Path of Exile. And there was a very brief period of time where I made a whole lot of WoW and Blizzard related videos on my channel before I started making Path of Exile content. Now, I first started streaming PoE, but there was a period of my YouTube where I made, not very good Legion videos. So there's kind of that background. Now, when Legion first came out, I did take some time away from PoE and I played a whole bunch of Legion. And some of my viewers have been saying, hey, Tarke, there's a new WoW expansion coming up. Do you think you're going to play it? I'm going to just sort of ramble about the things which annoy me about the upcoming WoW expansion, and why I think I probably won't play it, but why I kind of want to play it, but TLDR, I'm probably not going to play the new WoW expansion. In the background, I'm going to leave some random footage of me doing some hideout customization, since some of you like that, and it's just chill, has no timer on it, it can let me just sort of go at it. Okay, so. Just to get out of the way of lol, Blizzard, everything's terrible, because whenever I try and talk about WoW or anything, people just go, WoW's dead. Legion was actually a pretty good expansion. Legion was very good, other than the legendary and AP grind being a bit over the top. But I had a lot of fun playing Legion, and to any of my viewers or friends that I played Legion with, I apologize for how obnoxious I am to raid with. I am one of the worst people to raid with, because anyone who's ever had any time with me knows that I like to get involved. And, yeah, I'm a bit of an annoying person to have in your raiding guild, because I get a bit involved when things don't go well. To you, by the way. So, with that out of the way, why am I kind of annoyed about the upcoming expansion when I thought that Legion was a good expansion? Okay. So there were kind of like, there were like 2 or 3 things which have me very interested, but also very annoyed with BFA. So, I'm a massive lore nerd, and I own most of the WoW books. I haven't got the latest one which came out, and I haven't got the latest Chronicle, but I have every other WoW book. I like reading lore. I'm a massive lore nerd. I read all of that stuff. I gobble it all up. I'm subbed to about a bunch of WoW YouTubers, and all they do is like lore speculation. I love that stuff. So a big part of BFA is this very like lore heavy driven thing. Now, as someone who streams and makes Path of Exile content, I have no plans of playing WoW again super long term. It'd be kind of I'd maybe mess around with it, level some characters, get some story, and that would sort of be that. And that's what I thought I was going to do with BFA. I thought I was probably going to make an Alliance character, make a Horde character, go through the story stuff, and just kind of be like, yeah, that's sort of what's going on. They haven't got any legendaries or anything in the new expansion, so I was thinking maybe if one of my viewers had some like, trashy heroic guild, maybe I'd do 1 or 2 heroic clears with them just to see the raid, and then that would literally be it. I'm done. That is BFA finished for me. That was kind of my plan going in. Now, they announced they had this system called Allied Races. This is pretty old news for anyone who follows BFA, but the system of Allied Races is the whole kind of like lore of the expansion is Horde versus Alliance, building up these armies, let's go out and let's get more races. Now, I'm a big fan of the trolls, and I've always wanted straight-backed trolls. I've wanted a straight-backed male troll, which doesn't have a spinal problem for a long time, and the main, like, classes that I play a lot of is stuff like Chamois and stuff like Hunter, and I was kind of planning on going into BFA on a Shaman. Now, anyone who's up to date with BFA knows why that's mildly irritating, but we'll get to that in a second. So, a big part of the expansion is, you unlock these new races, right? And as someone who's really into lore, and someone who's really into all the troll lore and all of that nerdy stuff, finally getting to play Zandalari trolls, a special subset of trolls, is like, wow, that's really cool from a lore point of view. Well, this is how the fucking system works. So the way the system works is, before you can make any of the new races, you need to do some like prerequisite like story stuff. And a bunch of the new races won't be unlocked at launch. Meaning, if I wanted to make one of the fancy new straight back trolls, I would have to get a new character to max level, go through all of the BFA starter experience, wait for like a patch, wait for Blizzard to then enable the new race option, and then either make a brand new character or pay them real dollary dues to transfer my current chamois to a chamois of a different race. Because the way that World of Warcraft makes a lot of its money these days is through like costs of either changing your character from one race to another, or moving it from server to server, or swapping from Horde to Alliance, and so on and so forth. And they make a lot of money. They make a lot of money from that. And it's a system I goddamn hate. And also, just briefly on topic of talking about races in WoW, racials are the worst thing in any video game. If you're making a video game and you have different races which have different like cosmetic appearances, because you know races look different, and you're like, but if you play this race, mate, if you play this race, you do like 3 times the damage. So if you want to actually do damage, you've got to play this race you don't like. Ugh, I hate it. So a big part of WoW for me has been having to play race class combos I don't want to play because of the power level of certain racials. So I hate racials. But anyway, so that's kind of like one thing which has been annoying me in the background for a long time of like, you know, I really want to play a Zandalari troll, just do the quest stuff, maybe do like a raid, so I can just say that I did the new raid, stop playing BFA, go back to my PoEs, everyone's happy. I am happy, Blizzard's happy, Blizzard got some money off me, everything's chill. Well, I can't actually play the new trolls, so that's kind of a lame. And there was a Q&A recently, and they've announced that, you know, a lot of the classes aren't in exactly the best spot. And one of those is DPS shamans. More so enhanced than elemental. Elemental seems to be like okay-ish. But it's mostly enhanced, which is really being like dogged on. But as someone who was kind of planning on playing a Zandalari troll chamois, going into the new expansion, literally all for about like a week, to then have the news that actually, mate, we haven't got time to get the classes the way we want, so we're probably not gonna like fix chamois until 8.1. It's just like, dude, how? And this makes me really appreciate GGG and PoE. Like, you know, GGG isn't very good when it comes to like, we're not too happy with this one thing, so we're gonna wait like 3 months before we, you know, before we fix it. You know, we've had a lot of that with ascendancies and skills of, it's not ready yet, we're gonna wait. But dude, it's really, really frustrating. So, since we're just briefly talking about it, and this thing I'm thinking about a lot of on stream, well, Tarke, are you interested in Classic at all? A lot of my friends, my IRL friends, we grew up playing WoW together. And I've got one friend in particular who's obsessed with Classic. He's done the whole Project 60 thing, he plays a bunch of private servers. Am I interested in Classic? Not really. I know a lot of other PoE streamers, Rise is a good example, showing a lot of like interest in the idea of Classic. For me, I'm under no illusion that I will ever swap from PoE to another game. Unless like GGG really shit the bed, PoE is my game for life. I fucking love this shit. PoE is amazing. And as long as PoE stays like on roughly the same trajectory, I'm happy playing this until the end of fucking time, right? So, the way that Classic works, and Classic, for anyone who doesn't know, that's like raw vanilla WoW, is it's meant to be this true like vanilla WoW experience. There's no like, oh, I'll just play Classic for a week or two, you know, do a raid and learn the story, which is kind of what I want to kind of do with the new expansions. Like, maybe play it for a week or two, do the lore, maybe do the first raid when it comes out, and be like, all right, see you in a few years' time. With Classic, that's like, yo, BRB leveling a character to 60 for like a month, 2 months for most people who aren't that good. Oh god, all these classes feel terrible. Oh god, like 50% of the spec shop options are dog shit, you know. Have fun raiding as a rep pally or like a boomkin or whatever. And yeah, it's just, I don't... I don't understand how so many people are so excited for Classic. Because I think most of the people who actually play Classic when Classic comes out would be like, yo, actually this is dog shit. The people who actually enjoy Classic when they exist, like my friends who play on Classic servers, etc., those guys exist, but they are a much smaller portion of the player base who are like longing to play it again. And as for all like the content creators who are like, oh, you know, it's fine, you know, I'll still have my main game and I'll just play Classic for a bit. That's not gonna happen, right? It's like, if you want to make content on Classic, it's like, no, you are a Classic streamer for at least like 3 to 6 months. There's no like just dipping your toe in that stuff. So anyway, that was my unscheduled Tarke randomly talks about World of Warcraft that everyone was desperately clamoring for and really expecting. For any of my 2 World of Warcraft viewers out there, if you are aware of Preach, Preach is a fellow YouTuber and streamer. I will be at PreachCon this year, as I have the last 2 years. It's like a big convention. I know it sounds weird being called PreachCon. He really should change that. Everyone always thinks I'm going to some weird like religious cult thing. It's just a WoW meetup. So if you're there, you'll see me again. You saw me the last 2 times. And if you see me there and you want to say hello, please just say hello. Last year, there were a few people who were like really nervous about saying hello. And there are a few quite funny stories of like, very briefly, there was one guy, you're very sweet if you're watching. We were both waiting in the queue for something. I just randomly started chatting to this dude. We chatted for like an hour, and he seemed really chill. And then went off about my business. I think I went to get a drink or something. And then I checked my Twitter, and the guy was like, "Hey man, I didn't realize you were a Preach fan. Do you mind if I come and say hello?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, just come say hello." This is all like, he hit me up on Twitter, right? And then the dude I just spent like an hour chatting to is like, "Hi, yeah, I didn't want to be like embarrassing. Don't do that," because that was really cringe. So yeah, if you're there, and this is just like, if you ever see me in general in person, and you're like, "Oh shit, that's Tarke," and as long as you're not gonna stab me, just come and say hello. If you are gonna stab me, I'd rather you message me on Twitter first. But anyway, I'm Tarke. PoE, by the way. I'm having a lot of fun with PoE. For anyone who's like, "Oh, he's making content for other games," it's fine. I'm a PoE dude. I'm in the middle of designing a supporter pack, well, a divination supporter pack with money I don't have. Trust me, I'm stuck being a GGG shill for many, many years to come. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. If, however, when Burning for Azeroth, Battle for Azeroth comes out, you see me briefly playing, I just want to know what happens to the tree. There's a tree, the tree's like burning, we don't know who set the tree on fire. I just want to know what happens to the tree, that's all. I kind of want to play a chamois which isn't shit with a straight back troll, but that's probably not going to happen. Have a good day. Bye-bye. What's the tree, by the way?